Kia ora, I'm Erin J. Doyle. Welcome to my channel. If this video seems different than videos I have filmed before, in addition to generally not being able to speak correctly today, I'm also having to film this on my phone instead of my usual camera because my camera is arguing with me. It seems to think that focusing is an optional situation, and I have not managed to figure out what the problem is. And I kind of figure it's probably a fight I will win, but I need to film stuff whilst I'm fighting the battle, so it's gonna have to be on my phone, which I'm aware doesn't have as good a mic and that kind of thing, so my apologies, but unfortunately we're just gonna have to go with it. Anyway, so apart from life just being generally awkward, I thought today I would talk about my reading plans for February because February is kind of special to me. So there's a bit of a story to this. A few years ago, this person said to me that they wanted to get back into reading, and I was like, oh, I can help you with that. And we went into a bookstore and I was recommending all these different things. And I realised very quickly that I needed to move away from the adult section and into the young adult. I was like, totally fine. So I went over to young adult, which immediately restricted the number of books that I could recommend because whilst I actually quite enjoy young adult, I don't read very much of it. Anyway, so I was trying to figure out what they might like, and what I managed to get out of them was that they had really enjoyed Twilight, so I was like, okay, well I'm going to pretend that there's nothing else going on there and just assume that you enjoy romance. And they were like, yep, totally love romance, oh my god. So I was like, okay. And then after a couple of minutes I realised that they were noticing and being legitimately excited when they saw a book which was a movie. So I was like, okay, again that restricts the options. So I was looking for young adult romance being made into a movie. And I saw one which I hadn't read, hadn't seen the movie, but I had only heard good things. So I picked up this book and I was like, okay, this one might be your cup of tea. I believe it's about a young gay man, and the person that I was with was just like, no, just no. And I was just horrified by the disgust that they had shown, because to be honest I just toned it down because I don't want to like upset the neighbours. They were really over the top and very like instant rejection, and my kind of internal response to this was, well, fuck you forever. Of course I didn't say that because I never say the things that I think. So we left the bookstore and I haven't actually spoken to them since because I don't have time for people who are like that. And I wish I had done it then, but what I did do a couple of weeks later was go back to the store and I bought the book because I was like, how dare that person? So yeah, I bought a copy of Love, Simon, which is also, I believe, called, it says on the back, excellent, Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. Have I mentioned that I'm not talking good today? So I bought it. And then it just sat on my shelf for a while. And then February came around and I was like, oh, I'm going to make this my Valentine's Day read. Purely out of spite for that other person. So this kind of kicked off a bit of a tradition. Every Valentine's Day I read a queer romance. This year I have had two thoughts. First, I need to expand a little bit out of romance or relationshipy stuff because I don't really enjoy it that much, and just be like, any LGBT plus content or creator will do. And my other thought was, hang on a second, do I even have any books that meet that criteria currently on my TBR shelf, because I'm not buying books. And I went and I had a look at the, I don't know, 100 books on my shelf, and I only found two where I knew that they fit that criteria. So the first thing I did was go on a bit of a shopping spree despite not being allowed to buy books because we just have to address the issue. Unfortunately, I did have to buy everything online, and the one that I was able to get at a local bookstore wasn't in stock and it won't be here until the end of the month. So I'm many times have I said so in this video? The TBR stack for this video is very, very short because it's all in transit currently. We'll see. But I figure I also only read a book every 2 weeks or so, so only having a couple of books for the month kind of makes sense. Anyway, the first book I'm going to be reading this month is Freshwater, which I believe from the back is by a non-binary person. I've mentioned this book in my haul video. It's about a young person who's basically has multiple gods occupying their body, I believe. Have heard only good things. So this is going to be like my main read for February. And my other read is going to be Ransack, which is a short collection of poetry by a New Zealand non-binary author, and it's about their experiences of being non-binary, I believe. The reason I've said that Freshwater is going to be my main read is that I can't really just sit down and read a book of poetry. It's not what I do. I tend to read 1 or 2 and then put it down for a week. So I'll be reading this throughout February at sort of random intervals. Maybe it will take me months because, like I said, very, very just, I don't know, crumbs of poetry is how I read, not books of poetry. So this will take a while. So those are the only 2 that I currently have. I've got at least 3 or 4 on the way. Maybe they'll arrive in time and I'll do a haul, like a small haul later in the month. We'll see. I also have to finish the Decameron project, which I've got just this little tiny bit left, can you see, of that to get through. But because it's short stories, I think I can just put this down for a month and focus on Freshwater and Ransack and other books if they appear in my mailbox. They're cut off from the top of the shop. Okay, I suspect that I have rambled and that this video has been horrific. Don't even know if the sound quality is going to be okay. Again, my apologies if it's not been tolerable in any context. But at any rate, that's all I had to say for this video. I hope you found it entertaining. Let me know what you're reading in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. If you're new, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Do all those things. They really help my channel out. And I'll see you next time, hopefully from a better camera. Bye. Just quickly before I go, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, I finished the tea cozy. Thanks to Brenna for confirming my suspicion that the pom-pom was the way to go. It was almost going to be flowers, but I think the pom-pom is correct. Making this was a technically unnecessary distraction from writing because it's fruit tea. I could drink it cold and it is summer, so hot drinks aren't really necessary. So a tea cozy is a frivolous, unnecessary thing. But without going into the details of somebody else's story, I just felt this month, in addition to it fitting in with my own spite-driven reading themes and it being Pride Week here in New Zealand, it's also just at the moment important to me personally to make my position as an ally very clear so that everyone knows that I am a very proud employee, co-worker, friend, niece, cousin and aunt. That's all I'm going to say on that because it's not my story, but that's my stance on it. So the rainbow tea cozy for Pride Month was essential to me, even though it was a distraction from getting the editing done. And I'm going to go because tears are threatening and I'm wearing mascara, so I'll see you next time. Bye.